Islam Moors, Canaan Moabites. Can y'all see the loony? The Luna? Quran and Sunnah. It's the one they call Red Dog. Shout red, shout. What's that an idea? Huh? Talking to me all about that jive. I've been talking like that all last night, yesterday, about 2-3 days now. Right. You might come make me shut down. I like the way that castle look over there. Can I pause that right there? It might just start raining out of the blue. Got me some exit strategies. Exit plan. Brad Jordan got a song called Have an Exit Plan. And I'm gonna start on that time, right? Hey man, the divine just be looking out Jupiter. Some say Jupiter, the planet that the divine manifested, helps us a lot. When we receive something, it had to do with something to do with Jupiter. In Allah's creation, the way Allah got this creation set up. Exit plan. Exit plan, I mentioned that Brad Jordan. In a nutshell, he's talking to old fools and young dumb trying to get some green bean on the scene, right? And he's talking about like Mickey Royal, pimping Mickey Royal say, see your way out before you go in. That's Mickey Royal. I forgot he has an Arabic name, and I'm not sure if Mickey Royal is his government name. So people that went to school with him that might not know his street name or his Arabic name, they might not even know who I'm talking about. Mickey Royal say, see your way in, see your way out before you go in. Brad George say, exit plan. Wham spin the block. Got knocked off. Not too far from where I was when the news clip came to my phone. The incident had happened not too long before and not too far in distance from where I was. Wham spin the block. It was Hollandale Beach, I think. I don't know any details, not even through the media. So therefore, it's not a call on judgment and what a person should. Only thing I know is he's young, he raps, and that's about it. What that? Oh, that's 6 block. I think that had to do with, yeah, that was something else. That wasn't YNW Melly though. That's the other, the dude KSOO. They think he might have did a like slick sneak diss to a Young Thug. They not sure. He caught some time. And then some other people were saying, well, it might be about his daddy, because his daddy took the stand, and his daddy made like a tweet or something like that saying, if it was me and my father, they all got Arabic first names. KSOO. He got a number behind that name, like 23X or something. KSOO. His father has an Arabic first name, and I think his father's father has an Arabic first name. And his father's made a tweet saying about, if that was me and my dad, I wouldn't put my dad in the mix, Blase Squad, paraphrase. And some people, so people trying to speculate what the KSOO, what 23X, whatever mean. Was it toward Young Thug? Because rumors having it, that's the only way he got out from under that. Or was it toward his father? Because his father did take the stand. And his father did do that tweet saying, it looked like, from what I surmised just from the article alone and the tweet, it looked like his father was trying to say, you know, why would he drag me down with him I wouldn't drag my father down with me. So I guess his when he testified, that was to clear up the matter as far as I ain't have nothing to do with that. All I know is blase. And let's touch on that. We starting there. That's very important. Because I was talking about how child abuse and chastisement, spare the rod, you spoil the child. I was talking about that the last post, I think, sitting in the dog in the whip. And I was saying how the children, we can't expect them. They just had some in the news. A dude close to my age, I was born in 73. The other dude about half our age, but he grown. And a 5-year-old is habitually wandering off. So that last time they went looking for him, he wandered off, they looking for him. They gave up, went home, went to sleep. Long story short, they went to jail for that. So you don't expect a young child to operate just on, I told you so, I told you so. Nah. You don't, that's stupid for us. That child gets to a certain age with good parenting where, in all actuality, especially the mother, the parent never stops seeing that child as a 3 or 4-year-old. In all actuality, in a lot of ways, we are. In a lot of ways, we hard-headed as F, and the world does not wake us up with all the bumps and bruises and the scrapes and the stings and the bites and all that, the cuts, the scrapes. We still kind of like sleep on a lot of stuff where a parent, if they were conscious of what it is we sleeping on, they would be there, they'll catch it, they'll pull our coat and they'll be like, why you ain't catch that? Wake up, tighten up, blah, blah, blah. That's just the nature of a parent. It's something about, one of the reasons why I believe Asher's dad's been ran probably is, man. I always say he maybe not. We never did a blood test. But I noticed a shift in how I was with me. And I made a conscious decision. And this came more from within and without. But it was interacting with the world around me in that time, my experience, and my direction for the future. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, because he was born 2001. So his mother's story is that she didn't know she was preggo. Therefore, when we were interacting with each other before I went to jail that time, that's not Peter Adrian, that's Judge David H. Young. I ended up in his court. So I go in for one charge, that got dealt with, but I was on bond. That's how that went down. So Peter Adrian ended up juggling both cases in his courtroom at one time. And they allowed the kangaroo court to kick in session with the city of Miami, Officer Gonzalez. Now, meanwhile, back at the ranch, my Uncle Samuel Otis Mackey, I think, is the one that informed me. May Allah be pleased with his life service. He passed on transition. Someone came to my cell for me to sign parental. So I did it knowing that it might not be my child, but the way she and I interacted, to me it didn't matter. Because if the truth came out down the line, I wouldn't be bitter. I just know, well, okay, we'll handle it a little different. But we were locked in like that, so it didn't really matter. If she was saying that, and it happened to be somebody else, the way we were interacting before I went to jail, and I expected probably when we got out, that wouldn't be a stumbling block to us moving forward however we did, as long as it was something I agreed to. Working together, soldier together like that. So I didn't care, because down the line, we can straighten that out, So But I know me and her, we were like, as far as I knew back then, that's like lifetime. No matter what we do sexually, relationship-wise, the bond as far as I'm gonna look out for homegirl. She a Bayou. She from Louisiana state. She from Louisiana, Bayou. I'm gonna look out for homegirl. That was actually that was a little bit before the time a whole lot of people out of New Orleans or whatever came to Miami, among other places, because of the dam, the Levy, Katrina, and all that. But it was still pretty much, they've been coming. You know, we've been dealing with them, you know. Bust Down, Poison Clan, you know, yeah. So anyway, I noticed the shift in me before they came to the cell and notified me. And I skipped ahead of time to explain how she told me eventually down the line, she didn't know she was pregnant for like 5 months. Her menstrual kept coming. She getting ovarian cycle, Luna coming, and it stops. 5 months down the line, she doesn't know when it stops. It's 5 months. She thinking it's, you know, what's going on. She check it out, find out 5 months. Oh, that's the story with that. But before they notified me, I noticed the shift. Now, the Imam, Chicago, I think it's Chicago, S.elf A.m M.aster, in the khutbah one time said that when the man has his first child, something in him shifts toward the positive. And then he says the second child, ... It was something like even better, right? And I noticed, and I didn't know, no one had said anything about me having a child. I noticed, I made a conscious decision in my head, and it's like everything about me had evolved to the point when I made the conscious decision. So when I'm making this decision, I can look at every aspect of my life and point at reasons why I come to this conclusion. I give credit to the divine, because although it's a lot of common sense going on and whatnot, practical things, logic, it's a lot of things happen that I really can't take credit for, and nobody around me can take credit for. Matter of fact, it took a long time. This is a quarter of a century later, roughly. It took a long time for me to realize a lot of people really didn't have my best interests at all. A lot of people really tried me to see just how well I could perform on my own in certain aspects or areas where I shouldn't have been left alone, because the bond we had is like you give, God bless the dead, Chandler used to ride up on me and Billow, Cherokee. Hey, blah, blah, blah. Drew, Frank, Nitty, we out there. I forgot her name. He always said, huh. We out there, right? He'll ride up. Sometimes might be Brainy, sometimes might be Flume out there. Hey, wa-da-da-da-da. Pull off. He one of them big body, he pushed them big body, want to do like them big body verbs and all that there. So, we have an ilk, we have a culture. In the beginning, for the most part, as far as I know, and I can detect, we looked out. Shout along, right? Up the road, ATL, Decatur, Fulton and DeKalb County. We looked out. I mean, a word, you know what I'm saying, a timely word, you know, skin off my, to say something, especially when we running together so much. Sometimes we forced to, because if I'm in the car with you, if I'm in the house, I'm in the hood area on the outside with people looking and all that, I gotta pull your coat to certain things. And then we gotta kind of watch, because dudes do slime square. We dudes do slime. Like, right now I can see the interstate. What they call that? turnpike. I can see the turnpike. I can see 441. So say I see 45 cars, a long line of U.S. Marshals, and it's a dude facing me, he don't see it. And I sit here, slide a pack out, drop it by the car tire, just behind the tire. When I walk off and go over there, pee, come back, post up over here, he closer to the pack than me. And I kind of finesse it, so I end up a little further than I even would, pack over there behind the front tire. So when the U.S. Marshals pull up in this facility I'm at, right, on Admiralty law, apply Admiralty law to the land, long story short, since he closest to it, he go. So we used to have to watch them, whoever they are, when they are with us, whether we drive it or not. Sometimes they'll just there'll be a-hole cops that take everybody. They really supposed to only take the driver unless they find something and then you own up to it, or you find it on your person. If you agree to a what they call it, a search, right? So for the longest time, we would always be in that mode right there. Yes, sir.
Everything okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, have a good night. Just try not to stay out in the garage for too long.
All right. So, train of thought. It was best not to ignore the man doing a job, but I knew about it if I had said something, man. That's why I don't fuck with dicks. He was cool and shit. I'm just angry about my train of thought, dude. So, I found out the hard way. I think a lot. There's always cell phones around you, always cameras in your mouth and all, reading your lips and all that. I used to speak more candidly, right? But, you know, information is like, has to be clean, has to be filtered, sifted before it's shared, especially like cyberspace, like. So, you messed me up, I was flowing. I was going right to it. Everything's relevant though. Everything, no tangent. We ain't going off on no tangent. Everything relevant. So I had a shift, internal shift in my direction. I made a conscious decision. At the same time period where Bush is calling it, and if you know, you know, he's calling it the axis of evil. 2001 has come in now. So the attack happened in September. I started before the attack. The attacks didn't inspire me. I felt more like they ranked the game. And I already got a song, I mentioned it recently too. I wrote South Florida Reception Center. A red dude from Shadowlawn told me one day, he said, go to Juma. I don't know him personally, but I met him in there. I started going to Juma, and it's like a fish to water. Next thing you know, I'm 5 salats a day. It's 5 pillars of Islam. We did Ramadan there too. So Black Panther was the head imam, quote unquote resident imam at South Florida Reception Center. To the best of my knowledge, he was a Black Panther, and then for some stiff charges, right? I forgot what city he was originally from. I did ask him, I forget. He told me, I forgot. Real dark, pretty black-skinned, dark-skinned dude, real fit. He was older. Probably was older than I think he definitely was older than my mom's oldest. He's got me about 11 years. This year, I should be about 23. In 97, 94. 3 years plus what? 24. I'm about 24. Right? I'm gonna turn 24 that year in 97. So I wrote for life. I was in a recent publication, I said it was pretty long. I don't know how I was gonna have to chop it up, make a remix to it and all. I had like 5 verses. And that's before I was taught about 16 bar verses and 4 to 8 bar hooks. I used to do that roughly just off the feel of how a song should flow, but I didn't know that technically. I didn't know 4 measures to a bar. Money D, DJ Money D, Mix 96 taught me that. Problem 13 taught me about the 16 bar verses roughly and 4 to 8 bar hooks, because they try to do a song now at a certain point in hip hop 3 minutes and 30 seconds so it can fit on the radio program. So that song, like I spoke of in a recent publication, had some Arabia. It was Dawa. Dawa means fisher of men. Emmanuel Yeshua, who they call Christ the Messiah, he took 12 disciples, made them fishers of men. Some of them were actually fishing, casting a nets, literally. But he made all 12, even Judas, fishers of men. I get around 06, 3, 5, 3, and if Allah please start increasing body, read bodily harm, can be done from the lawn. I know you heard of us representing like the state versus the mass murder, burning sense, choking, smoke, nothing firm, ash, dust, cause ain't nothing permanent. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. So you can bring the nose on, filling up the void, the bottomless, in the pit, but the blessed, I break him down like a shotgun, son, in 2 components, do my opponent, clear the corner when I'm opponent, catch the fire. Ain't no use to standing around, open 5, ceasefire, leave you dead on the ground, nigga, what? The trigger was stuck, give a fuck, victim of the same game. Plus I couldn't maintain sanity. My family east side of Atlanta, G's, watch how you handle me, sleep with the manatees, fishes, niggas, bitches, my nigga low life, before 5 years out of lie, nigga crime, nigga for lie. I had just met low life. But Greggy Skunt, and Irv Tenor, and TGK, now I'm in South Florida Reception Center, Magistrate, the Magi, the magician, Leslie B. Rothenberg sentenced me to prison off that phony lie detector from Slattery and Associates, George Slattery. So that's the first verse, the full life. I said, that's Arabic, the Iblis. That's the name of the head, or jinn, what we call devil, according to the teaching of Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I get a little loose in there with Islam, propagating Islam. Me ain't on the Mustar King, you know, further down the line, other verses. So that's one of the best songs I made when Prophet 13 of them taught me how to make a song eventually. That's one of the best songs I had ready to go, right? And that's one of my best tactics. When I was telling y'all, they knew it was coming. All of a sudden, Curtis Jackson get a break in 2000 when we established, like we did everything but gave something to the public. We even got stuff recorded, but we ain't hardly distributed to the public. Curtis Jackson get his break. Curtis Jackson been rapping, right? T.I. get his break. T.I. been rapping. With Beanie Man, the first single, I would say hit, for far as whatever he got coming that year, and this is debut. He got the video and all. If disrespect, but my nigga get shot any day. I'm in jail looking at that. I think that I was dealing with, because by the time I'm dealing with David H. Young, that's the time period I'm talking about when they come and tell me I got a child on the way, and we was already, they stopped me from doing Locking It Down. Southern Affiliate, they stopped me. Which really was it all started just a Red Dawn album. And Red Dawn's business plan to have the banquet hall, the underground radio, our own recording studio, and the banquet hall really a club / that banquet hall. Because if we was to have any flack that I saw we was going through over the years, to about 15 years now in the game, we at least could have pack a place and play our music. And we produced enough at that point, really from then even up until now. The only comparison to what I've been trying to do since the 80s is Master P with No Limit. If he wanted to, he could have a club and play nothing but songs that came off No Limit records and still everybody be straight. And nobody complain. Matter of fact, Look at some of the hooks. Thinking about you, but thinking. Man, they could do that all night long. Don't even have to play the R&B. Mr. Anchorman. Man. Boom, boom, boom. Shit. Player. So, he wasn't sleeping on himself. And thank God for everything Mr. Miller did, because I'm going to tell you, it took people like that to succeed, to really get a lot of people to respect people like me in the family, in the community, and even to the police and the courts. It took one man like that. Williams, baby, and I see his face. Slim and baby. One man like that. Jay Print, one man like that. Eric Wright, for them to respect everybody else. Because we was getting a lot of flack. Hardly no support. You might well go and somebody meet a girl, go to their parents, tell them, I snort coke, I shoot heroin, I'm an alcoholic, I dropped out, I got 5 felonies, I probably go back, I like your daughter. We fucking raw. Seriously. It took people like that, but especially P, because P did the dang on thing like it should be done. When we was coming up, you had people with that type of talent. They'll talk about what they gonna do. Good ideas. They done showed stuff too. They got skill. We know they got the skill. Oh, they're talking, oh yeah, you know what, we mix this and that. Never do it. And I'm frustrated. It's the 80s. We hip-hopping. We dressing like B-boys and whatnot, MCs and B-boys and whatnot. I'm getting frustrated. ICI sold his equipment. Mac left the crib, so I don't have it. They're with me like that. And Mac ain't produced nothing with me song-wise since Miami in the early 80s. I don't even know if I met Gene Jasmine yet. Back then, when we did that, that might have been the time I met him. I'm not sure. It could have been the next following year. I'm not sure. Probably was, because I think that's why Mac had equipment there, because he went to Edison. That's the time period when he went to Edison. So probably that's it. He living in the garage. The garage is turned to efficiency. He back there, right, with his equipment and all that. So anyway, Bush called the axis of evil. They know I'm coming with stuff like that. So now the industry, ain't nobody tripping. The industry is like this. They know my shit fire. We talking about no song. We talking about just when they let that nigga go, because they've been keeping up with me over the time, right? When they let that nigga go, he gonna have some shit, and we ain't got no answer for that shit. So the least they could do was not let me be that much of a novelty by having people like 50 Cent and G-Unit. They done already came with Eminem and D12. And I swear for God, I ain't tripping, because Eminem and D12 came right after I left Dirty Dozen D12. Our D12. That was what they was expecting us to do. They didn't think I was gonna come here and stay here. They thought I was gonna get out and go back up there. I refused. It was some street shit going on. And I thought of a better chess move. See, money ain't everything. Juice, power, motion, that ain't everything. Plus, I got that in Miami anyway. I just don't have my own EIN done in Bradstreet, and as a matter of fact, that wasn't mine either. I'm just down like that. But when I saw what they was doing to me in the 11th Judicial Circuit Court, it took everything to another level. Plus, I got a 0 now. Now, with the prison system, once you go to prison one time for a good stiff felony, the court system become a maze, a labyrinth of impossibility when it comes to a miracle, and too many possibilities when it comes to a downfall, right? Simply because on the record, for the record, it says in writing on paper, you are a convicted felon of a violent crime. Which is what? Officer William behind Nitro, lying ass behind, want to say armed robbery. That's tough. Especially in the heyday of me pushing. See, this is what the industry was doing back then. And we ain't talking just corporate suites. We talking about the streets too. The streets was knocking people like Snoop Dogg and we talking about, okay, once he made his debut, he made his debut like 92-ish. So Snoop Dogg, cause he hot, he with Dre got his back, boom. You might well say NWA because Dre just left NWA, so the legacy is still fire hot and seared in our brain. So people was not, he ain't in, so industry even went there like far as, we ain't gonna sign you if you trying to come represent the streets. If you ain't street, you ain't got, who know you? You know, the industry, these punks in the suites, G-checking. You're like, hold up, man, it's about lyrics. It's about lyrics and tracks and put that together, song, and do the people like the song. Now you want to get in my history, like, that's really not relevant if the people like, if they want the music. So they're like baller blocking. So now what's happened, the problem is the producers. Too many producers who ain't jack. You ain't got all type of Grammys and blah, blah, blah. You ain't in movies and you ain't got all these, you ain't jack. You getting jerked. They playing with you. They not taking you serious. But now you gonna lean on them and gatekeep and be like, you know, with little stuff like that. Now with me, they knew they couldn't do that. Cause they knew I'm a dynastic with it, right? We was like this, they was the ones. My first producer, they was the ones with us before Schoolie D, Spoonie G, and NWA. Scott LaRock and KRS-One came out with something. We was the ones. Drop Boys, you know, not saying I was with them then, but one of the biggest gangs of that generation in the teenage years and 20s and 30s was two-ad players and Untouchables. Two of the biggest gangs. So in that time period, the 80s. Player, right? Drop Boys got a history. Miami is a hot town. Very hot. So year round, you know, niggas shirt off, muscle looking like Ronnie, a miniature Ronnie Coleman, might look just like Ronnie Coleman, right? I'm talking about muscles all up here somewhere, right? That was on the norm. Niggas thinking I'm a sucker 'cause I ain't no bald head built motherfucker. Debonair, Poison Clan, right? So Baby Boy had a fade with a nigga like that. Baby Boy just got a regular body. You know, he ain't got no bodybuilder body, right? He ain't no prize fighter, boxer, or another high school wrestling champ and all that kind of stuff. Black belt karate, I don't think. I don't know. So he had to fade him. It was a lot like Ice Cube movie came out later. With Debo, I think it was Debo or somebody, when Ice Cube picked up the brick because his daddy wouldn't let him, he tried to use a gun and daddy wouldn't let him. So fight like a man. It was a lot like that because Baby Boy, he didn't want to fade him. And Miami Mac, pushed him back and beat that nigga ass, right? Baby Boy say he went in and put them detonators, put them dogs on him. Dropped it. So eventually, I don't know yet if they called him yet. Eventually they called him Drop. But Ricky Gonzalez, God bless his dead, had a baby by like one of my first loves. Came back in town, but I don't even know Rick at the time. All I know, she done had a baby. Calling the baby daddy name out and stuff. She all in love still, right? Miami Mac, Baby Boy, and By the time they started calling themselves that, they already had basically a gang. But they probably wouldn't say that, call themselves that, whatever, but they were deep, right? If you know, you know. Right, 5-3 5th Ave Northwest. So, now, jump back. They locked me up for some BS. It was a lot of BS going on behind the scenes with my own infrastructure and the personnel that we handpicked. Most of them came through S.elf Dexter Wilson, Ed Pope. It started out me and just S.elf. I told him I was gonna go and get those type of people. But he was getting them so fast that I'd give him a try. And also, most of them were either Muslim, Nation Muslim, at that, MOORS number 29, Nation Muslim, or they came as a relative of somebody from MOORS 29. But Arlington, that's war type. Eventually, war type gonna come. Crespo, that's Jitaloso. Problem 13 is suit and bow tie, F4Y to the day he died. So I'm like, yeah, okay, give him a chance. You know, Devastator X, Brother Kenneth. I've been met him and Brother Hassan on the corner, 183rd, 27th, selling final call. My mom's first son. Introduced me to him back in 93. Right, so anyway. The talent come out, the creative side. That's why I told S.elf, I hold that close to my chest. But that part that I couldn't hide because it already been revealed from years. I've been doing this 15 years. So they know me. And they know I ain't never try to appease and conform. So I'm coming raw with all that. You can't shame me out of my raw talent. You ain't gonna make me, this is talent. See, I just had a previous post and explained how I became to be not just running with them niggas. We even conned some certain niggas. And that's just industry shit. We got street shit I won't even talk about. We conning these niggas, make them think me from tri-state area and whatnot. You know? And if we doing rap, street rap, hardcore rap, even Roxanne and Shantae and all them, no dope in your coke in your nose and dope in your vein, then it won't cause no kind of pain. It was always street. They always had a clean mix and a street mix. Melly Mel, Broken Glass, everywhere. It's always a street. So now we coming so raw, first person narrative about our own personal business. Stop talking about the next man. Putting the next man dick. Putting them out there. Dry snitching or straight snitching. And tell on yourself. And do it intelligently. But you don't take the whole clique down with you. That was they ain't never got for like that. Claim to fame. I ain't mentioned Randolph White, Gary Evans, Mike Murphy, Terrence Harris, Big Poke. I ain't a lot of niggas. Nobody. My daddy, nobody. Right? But I brought it and made them feel me. Because a lot of times the first thing I'm, who that? Man, who that is? He ain't know. First of all, the streets gonna talk. A lot of them already knew. Told you my old boy, my grandparent, my parent, they made us famous. We were famous from childhood. Their legacy. We were born into that. We didn't put that work in. We was born into that. But we had to pick up our cross and bear that and walk with that. And that's where things went to another level because people are impressed with the fact you can be that responsible with that type of responsibility. So now, like I say, country grammar, broken English, yard, pidgin English, broken English, Gene Jasmine, Jamal Mackey, broken English clique. They just can't hang with this street slang. One of the first things I told Cedric Foster. Michigan, Detroit, Motown. we in Decatur. I said, if a faggot try me, like them faggots be trying them kids at my mom's job, HRS, sticking their dicks in their mouth and they behind they rectum, I'ma drop them and I'ma grow my shit out and I'ma go to Jamaica. Cause I can't be all looking around for weed like you do in the urban areas. You got some weed, you gotta go to jail trying to get a joint. Me and this dude like 10, 11 years old, 12, no older than 12. Now, do the math. I was born in 73. I got hit 9 years old in the summer, right after 4th of July. In 82, I just started wearing glasses. Been to the optometrist for the first time to get fitted for glasses. 82, 9 years old. We moved from Eastwick to Tilson Road. I'm talking to Cedric Foster. We just met. This is some of our first conversations. We talking about pimping. He talking about how a lot of his cousins and whatnot used to be pimps and shit, and they got tired of running from the motherfucking police, and a lot of them had clean records. They got on the police force to not go to jail. And a few other conversations we had, right? I'm telling about 18, no, I don't know about 18. 79 Biscayne, the beach. I don't know about Los Olas. I don't know about 8th Street, whatever that jive is down there by 8th Street and all that down that way. I don't know about that. I don't know about Los Olas. I don't know about 18th. I know about 79, Biscayne, and the beach at that point, right? As a 10, 11-year-old, right? That's the kind of conversation we having, right? Ain't no rap. Ain't no gangster. He asked me one time, he say, what would you do if a rapper, you was out there with him, another rapper came and he was better? He like won, like he like tops, like the Grammy like tops kind of thing. And even to the point, like career might fall, what he insinuate, right? I said, kill him. I just came out and said that shit. And he was like, and I smiled, I'm just tripping. And not too long after that, Rakim came out. And I told him later, I said, man, me and Aaron Ivy was in his room when the flute, whatever that is, the piccolo or something started playing. The scratching came in. The beat dropped and the bars came in. And I say, man, after listening to him after X amount of times, I almost cried because I say, damn. I said that, and imagine, in actuality, to the best of my knowledge, that's the one. I almost cried. I said, that's fucked up. Soon, we gonna have Schoolie D. He ain't all that bad. I said, suck the motherfucker, I should shoot you dead, but nigga was biting his rhymes and shit, man. Rakim ain't biting my motherfucking rhyme, all right? You know what I'm saying? Right, so, they ain't, NWA came out. Like, damn. These niggas put the violence, that type of violence, that level of violence I was talking. Because I also said, when he was looking at me incredulously like, nigga, who are you? You know, like, what you got? I said, nigga, I'm the mob. Nigga, my daddy with Dick Lee and the motherfucker Dundee brother, nigga, Italian mobs, blah, blah, blah. I'm just talking shit, popping shit. And he would look at me like, man, you foul. So down the line, here come gangster rap. So that's why I say, we is them type of niggas. Ain't nobody influenced us to the left and it made us, we heard that and lost our mind. Maybe some of these other niggas, not me. Not the niggas I fuck with. Until it got to the point, what is it? Actually, it's age. Juvie and time period. Juvenile, in my time, our parents come get us, we go home. Simple as that. We ain't doing much killing. Ain't no much direct file and all that. We ain't doing much killing. We getting them here. We beating them for their brains. Right? Here. grown man with all this big shotguns and all that, you outsmart them. Leave them scratching their head. And we, Dad, get that money. Pee Wee Kirkland, I think I'm saying his name right, and all them back in the day, they had their time out there, they stood in the streets, and a lot of them did way better than we did. And you know, after a while, they catch on to stuff, so it's less you can do. You know, way less. There ain't no mob coming around. Like I grew up watching the TV and hearing the older people talk about their real lives. So when I get off the porch, you know, I go out there, I'm bracing myself for all this stuff that ain't gonna never happen. Ain't nobody gonna pick me up and tell me, hey, go climb through that window. Hey, oh, you play this part. We doing 3-car money. You come behind them and pick their pocket. Teach me how to pickpocket like green eye stand, stick your hand, baby spade, black spade. No, ain't nobody picking me up and showing me shit. Taking me on no capers, no nothing. I had to use this and devise and scheme and talk to the ones who would hang with me and do stuff, because a lot of the big ones wouldn't do it. The most that we could get a big person to do when I was around was go in the liquor store, buy us a quart, some OE or something. You know, we ain't gonna have about $1, $2, cause once it get to be 4, 5, and shit, we gotta buy some real, like 10. We up there was $10. You can find too many nicks. They started dime all day, shorty. So you get the X amount of money, you can't even get no alcohol. You gotta try to find somebody to pack but $2, $3 with that. That's $7, make that 10. Go try to find some good red hair cess. Let you know some real hashish and stuff, some real jive. Because you know where that's at. We smoking hemp, cannabis, right? Yeah. My weed habit is so close to smoking powder. Got a few bitches, but they all about $1, and they don't holler. Unless you moving, knock out. I don't really want to stay if I don't gotta. My weed habit is so close to smoking powder. Got a few bitches, but they all about $1, and they don't holler unless you moving, knock out. No doubt. That's what it is. So, and certain things I wouldn't even say. Certain cats here and there, yeah, a little something, you know what I'm saying? That's where I get my first strikes from and know certain things, and the experience is the best teacher. Already was doing shit as a kid. I ain't gonna talk about that right now. You know, but it was jitterbug shit. With the hopes that it'll be, you know, jewelry, whole bunch of cash, you know, some kind of way. But you know, it ain't laying around nowhere. You gotta make something happen, right? So now I'm coming. Here I am. I'm coming, right? Because they're gatekeeping and playing with the music and the producers, man. The beat that they played, it wasn't even a Money D beat. Purple Castle, Black Eye Knot Studios, Skingdon, and Wayne Foss, they running that, right? I Plane Drifter, Legend, K9 Posse, James Pierce, F-Bomb, all them type of people. Eh? The people. Yes, sir. Nationalist Party. Jamaica Labor Right Party. That's what's going on, right? He dropped that beat. I go through my little Rolodex or whatever you want to call it, my catalog mentally, memory banks. Oh, that go to that. That ain't even finished. Matter of fact, that's one of the last songs I was working on. That and Churches and Hearses. Churches and hearses, Dirty Dozen putting niggas up in churches and hearses. Churches and hearses, putting their ass in churches and hearses. He dirty me nurse, Dirty Dozen, 30 cousin, not the streets but worse. You don't want me to serve you, Mr. Murder, choke the scream. But it seemed that somebody still hurt a hurting nigga with gang with the ink in the brain pain. Yup. When I say, insane in the membrane cortex, I leave you wet, bloody red like some Kotex. Come flex and get vexed on the Forilla. Nigga, I'm a killer. And Mr. Mike came out later. Well, I hadn't heard that song. I gotta look and see where that came out. He came out with Tampex. Oh, fire. That's that Ghetto Madness, the remix. Boom, bam, boom, the remix. So anyway, I ain't know that. I ain't heard that. I ain't do that. I ain't say that because he said that. But the song he played, that was one of the last songs I wrote before I hit the streets. I don't know if Greggy Skunk back here. I'm waiting on Greggy Skunk to get back. VI to the sky, my gunny. He's still down. I done jumped. He's still down, but he on the way back. We coming. So I'm writing, but I got trademark registration. I got the East Unit production. I'm going down to the main library doing poor man copyright and shit like that. Got my little list, itemized. Okay, this gonna cost that. So once it got us kind of pricey, I'm like, okay, go get money. Paper chase. Everything's sitting there on the desk. East Unit Productions, Invisible Enterprises, all the stuff I ain't never formally registered and trademark. I was doing that paperwork, CEO shit, executive decisions like type shit, while I'm doing my little talent, tap dance and dance scene, dance rap. No romance. No romance by me. But the word up. Shit. Everybody say, when we hands in the air like you don't care. Yeah. Shit. Paper chasing. Now, that will be tiptoed and slow walked and redacted and dot shit real. This is 1997. This is around July when I come back with the barkers black and white, with the powder blue with the white strikers. Whacking Her had the same thing, pretty much same shit that Florida Reception Center had. Big old white, dingy Hanes t-shirt, some state issue thick glasses, Coke bottle. And they scout me. I'm madder than a bald head dread because I am one. Rothenberg scout me. Oh. And yeah, from all direction. Boy, I'm mad. My shit was about out there. My shit was out there. Couldn't find a hole to braid my hair. Ever since high school, couldn't find a hole to braid my hair. I started trying to get braids in high school. Bitch fucked up my perm in 5th grade. But in 12th grade, I started trying to get braids, 6 braids. Like Inglewood Crips, to be exact. I used to run with Brock. Let me get them 6 braids, man. He talking about, man, fuck that shit. Ain't nobody in Decatur doing that shit. Ain't nobody in Atlanta doing that shit. Boom, boom, boom. Ain't nobody in Miami doing that shit. I had to do shit different. When we go out the area, I become who I want to be. I'm an actor. I've been acting since a child. So anytime I took classes, most of the shit they teaching, I've been doing that shit. Right? Writer, reader, speller, actor, and some more shit. Right? So, con gang, getting out there and changing your name all the way down to the ground. I've been doing that now. So here we go. The beat drop. That's how the song Gorilla come out. And they loved it. Now at that point, yeah, that's good. I had never rapped for Sal. I got Sal in the music industry by business plan, talking. And I was supposed to be the main. I'm the little engine that could. I'm the talent. He never heard shit from me that I know about. He trusted that. So this the first time I showed and proved, and they was in there. Oh, and I'm like, well, I ain't got to worry about that part because if they like that, they gonna like everything. But it ended up the way it all worked out. Problem 13, gatekeeper. We had eventually, soon, not too far in the future, we gonna have, because it's like late 99, early 2000, so we gonna have what became known as Club 56. At that location, 5660 Northwest 7th Avenue, Miami, Florida, 33127, was a recording studio. 24 hours, 7 days a week, 24/7 access. No restrictions for us. Just don't tear it up. Don't catch no rape charge and all, and they're busting down bricks of cocaine and heroin. Don't go crazy, but do the craft. This Homo erectus is so slimy. When he heard my lyrics, because he don't really know me like that, he know my brothers and my dad and all, he thought if he effed around long enough, I'd mess around and slip on a banana peel in them streets, because I sound serious, I sound real. He done seen niggas like me. He from the old school, he's a real B-boy. He from the old school. Niggas like that play themselves out left and right. DMX a miracle. It's a miracle. His rap career is a miracle. DMX supposed to be dead and in jail before he signed that first contract and dropped and came out with Rough Riders. What the name? Rough Rider. What are Rough Riders? I think that's what you call it. Eve and Dragon and all that. Then he came solo. It's a miracle he lived through all that. Like Big L. Big L didn't make it that far. Why? Because the lifestyle. So that's what he thinking. But this is where it's at. I got brain. Ha! If I just talk candidly and don't filter out, I'll blow Miamians' minds. Dade and Broward County, especially some tri-state area, some Atlanta, I'll blow their mind. They'll be like, man. Except for the ones who know me, who ran with me, who did the stuff with me. But they don't know how far-reaching this is. Montgomery Street, Rico Maxwell, right? Bebe say, read these streets. Read these streets. Read these streets. Yeah. And I'm reading. Studying, shouting. I am studying that show. Allahu Akbar. I gotta stop this. Do my thing, do my juju, my hoodoo. Even a little voodoo. Just in case. That faith ain't what it is. That belief. Believing in some bullshit. I'm trying some juju. Some shit I know, goddamn. Something gotta get here, goddammit. I'ma sign out. I touched on something I really was supposed to be the main, but that's a lot of supportive information, so I ain't going on no tangent. That's supportive information. And it's just a lot. It's a lot. It's like moving forward with a front line, made up of about 6 legions. That's roughly 6,000, give or take, a large quantity. It's just so much. And that's just the front line. Just one battle, right? It's a lot going on. It's a lot of moving parts. But like I said, I gotta do my thing before sunrise. Signing out.